Hey everybody, welcome to Avidmax Tying Tuesdays. My name is Brady, and today we're going to show you how to tie the Griffin's Gnat. This is a cool pattern. It's a great midge imitation that you can tie in a few different sizes. We're going to use just a couple materials on it today. First thing we're going to use is this Grizzly Keo hackle, which is a great material for all kinds of different flies. One of the most used hackles in my arsenal. We're going to use this Veevus 12-aught in just a black thread. And then the last material that we need here, aside from the hook, I'll show you the hook as well. This is the peacock herl for the main body of the fly. And we're doing it on a nice hook today. This is the TMCO TMC 103BL. It's a very strong hook, but it's still gonna be real light so you can keep that fly floating on the surface. All right, so this is a pretty simple pattern to tie. We're just gonna start our thread right on our hook shank with some locking wraps, and then we can trim off our excess there and pull our thread back down to the hook bend to tie in our first material here. So the first thing we're going to tie in is this Grizzly hackle, and I've done a little prep on it already. You can see I picked out my feather, measured it to the size of the hook gap. This is going to be just a little bit longer than our hook gap there, and then I also pulled some of the barbels off, so I got a nice clean stem to tie in. So we'll tie that in right at the back, and I like to leave myself a little bit of stem because then when you wrap it you can really get the barbels to flare the way that you want them to. So once we have that tied in and hanging off the back there, we'll come back with our peacock herl. So with the peacock herl here, we're just going to pick a couple of strands out, some nice strands there with some good color, and then we'll clip off the tips, the brittle pieces. And I just want to make sure that they're kind of lined up the same way with the barbels facing down before I go to tie them in there. So we'll tie these in right along the hook shank, right back to where our hackle is tied down. And clip off a little bit of this excess here. And then bring our thread back to the front, right behind the hook eye. So we'll position ourselves with just a little bit of room there to give us room to tie everything off when we come back up to the front here. So a quick little half hitch, to get our thread out of the way, throw it on the bobbin cradle, and then we can utilize this rotary function of this Montana Mongoose vise. So, gonna wrap peacock herl starting at the back, give a couple wraps over itself just to kind of make it a little stronger, and then we'll have some tight palmer wraps, touching palmer wraps towards the front where our thread is. So all the way up to the front there, one more wrap, and then we'll capture that off. This is a great pattern. It can be fished year-round. It's going to be most useful in the winter months when midges are the prominent bug source for fish to eat. It can be fished in smaller sizes kind of as an individual imitation, but don't be afraid to tie it a little bigger as well if you have some midge clusters going on that the fish are really keying in on. All right, so we're just going to put another half hitch in here and get ready to kind of wrap our hackle there forward towards the hook eye. So I'm going to use these Stonefo hackle pliers. These are great hackle pliers. They're really nice for brittle materials, and I use them a lot when I'm wrapping hackle. So we're just going to wrap our hackle around the hook, around the fly here. Let's try and get that flare the way we want it to. There we go. Open palmer wraps. You can kind of play with, some tighter wraps or some looser wraps, kind of for the illusion you're going for there. But we'll go up to the front of the fly. It's flaring out nicely. And then kind of pull our hackle back and prepare to tie everything off here. So this is a great pattern. The biggest challenge that you have with these patterns when you're fishing them is just they're so small that they can be hard to see. So we'll show you how to do kind of a more high-vis version of it here as well. Clean up some of that, and we'll come in and do a whip finish, and that'll be our completed Griffith's Gnat. Just a few whip finishes there. And clip that off. And it is ready to fish. So there is your completed Griffith's Gnat dry fly.
All of the materials and tools that you saw in the video today are available through avidmax.com. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and drop a comment below. For more fly fishing and outdoor related videos, be sure to subscribe to the Avid Max YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.